Satya Dhamma Reflection on June 8, 2022. Don't be concerned with looking, seeing and knowing or using the mind. Involved with the disregard more constantly. This will be simultaneous purification of the extinction, simultaneously with senses and sense perceptions. Don't be concerned with the usage of the mind, looking, seeing and knowing, or whatever types of the mind. Involved with the disregard more consistently. Use that which is not about anything so that there will be fully purification of the extinction. A tiny bit of the usage of the mind, it creates already karmic difficulties of the mind. The disregard is not itself, and involved with the disregard more consistently, simultaneously, and don't be considerate to the mind, to the looking, seeing and knowing of oneself. Don't be deluded to be concerned with anything. Without purification of the extinction, there are only karmic mind, karmic difficulties of the mind, which is obstructing on and on. Mental karma is obstructing, blocking oneself. Use that which has nothing to do with the disregard fully. Don't be considerate and regret to give up the mind. Involved with the disregard is not about anything as it is. In other words, it's called purification of the extinction and the emptiness. It's not about using the mind towards all things. That which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, give it absolutely. Don't use the mind to determine towards anything. It creates clashes and involved with the disregard purely. simultaneous purification of the extinction throughout the internal and the external, together with looking, seeing, and knowing. While doing water blessing, or whenever you open the palms or senses and sense perceptions, use that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment simultaneously. This will be simultaneous purification of the extinction as the assumed blessing. So eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind are to be assumed in such a way. Don't use the mind. Don't have a favor of usage of the mind. It is karmic mind that is used towards all things that is not blessing. Uninvolved with the disregard is that which is not about giving anything, is ungrabbable. Giving that which is not about grasping, ungraspable. It is actually the purification of the emptiness. There will be the unwinding that follows from all beings accordingly. Following in the way without flaw accordingly. Anything that is a lot of taking into account will be decreased. Purifying through the extinction and the emptiness. Don't use the mind towards all things. True blessing is not about using the mind towards all things. That which is not about the non-attachment itself. That which is not about anything. No is not even no itself. Purify the karmic difficulties, not just receiving or taking on the karmic difficulties. Whatever one uses through knowing, it's just karmic mind. So use that which has nothing to do with knowing or not knowing. Don't regret the beingness of the mind. Don't be concerned with the usage of the mind. Continue to purify through Nirodha and Nibbana for samsara. Don't be concerned to use the mind. It's a habit. It's a habit, child. It is called karmic habit. That which has nothing to do with form or formlessness, body or mind. That which has nothing to do with in the uninvolved itself. The disregard is not itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolvement itself. The non-attachment is not itself, child. It is meaningless in itself. Continue in the way that is not about giving meanings and significance or involvements with anything, all the same to everything. This will purify all the clashes altogether, purifying the clashes. The disregard is not itself, all the same to everything. And naturally, it will not be about anything. There will not be meanings and significance and involvements with anything automatically. It will turn into the purification of the emptiness, sunyata nibbana, purifying samsara. For blessing, the essence must be simultaneously giving. Proceed altogether with everything, purifying through the extinction and the emptiness. It's impossible to choose whether to bless this or that separately. It has to be simultaneous. The essence of that which is not about the non-attachment cannot be specific, cannot be limited to a certain extent. This is the purification of the extinction that is simultaneous with all things. simultaneously share the essence of that which is not about non-attachment towards everything. This will purify all the specificity within looking, seeing, and knowing, and it will purify the karmic habits of being specific within looking, seeing, and knowing, because that is the delusive attachment. It is the realm of existence, and involved with the disregard simultaneously with everything. It will turn into the purification of the extinction and the emptiness that is simultaneous with everything without choosing whether it's inside or outside. Whenever the knowing is not being specific and limited to itself, then it will continue in such a way that is not specific. It will be uncountable, purifying through the sunyata. This is because of not being specific. Therefore, the system of knowing becomes unlimited, without limited to itself. Disregard from the disregard itself all the same. This will purify being specific from the delusive attachment. This is not about taking in the body or the mind, not about taking in looking, seeing, and knowing. The senses and sense perceptions are not to be grasped. Not about grasping even Dhamma, no grasping even the non-grasping itself. The states of mind or any conditions are not to be grasped themselves. The elements are not to be grasped within themselves. The anicca is not about taking in itself. The anatta is not about taking in itself. Suffering as well is not about grasping itself. The disregard doesn't grasp itself. No grasping even to the non-grasping itself. In this way, there will be simultaneous purification for all.
No is not no itself. Don't reject anything. Don't disregard anywhere or anything. The disregard is not itself. Uninvolved with the disregard itself, child. Nothing is within the disregard itself. Simultaneously, with everything. No is not no itself. This is not to use no to reject anything. Don't be deludedly no to anything. No is not no itself. Disregard from the disregard itself, child. Disregard even from the disregard itself. The non-attachment is not itself, simultaneously with everything. This will be beyond helping through the unwinding and releasing. There will be no traces in the purification for everything without being specific, unless there is an assumed to be specific to purify in certain things. By Sunyata Nibbana, purifying for samsara, it's simultaneous purification. all about being specific is to assume blessing. That which is not about the non-attachment basically is the purification of the extinction and the emptiness that is simultaneous with everything. Basically, there is simultaneity for everything in blessing. That which is not about the disregard or the non-attachment, even know is not know itself. Basically, it is the purification of Nirodha, Nibbana, and the emptiness. To be specific in this way and that way is to assume blessing. That which has nothing to do with the non-attachment itself is not an assumed, it is not specificity. That's why it turns into purification of the extinction and emptiness that is simultaneous with everything, automatically. Don't be obsessed to use looking, seeing and knowing on and on. Disregard. Disregard from itself. The disregard is not itself. Wear with it. Itself is not about itself. Self-purification in itself. Nothing is within the non-attachment itself, child. Nothing is within the non-attachment itself, so that there will be purification of the extinction. Nothing is within the non-attachment itself. No is not no itself. Don't be obsessed to attempt to give yes and no towards anything. This is the desire of the Tithi, being deludedly rejecting or accepting while being obsessed to yes and no with anything. No is not even no itself. No is not even no itself. While being obsessed to deludedly yes and no towards anything, it is the desire and delusion of Tithi. Delusive attachment of Tithi is called samudaya of Tithi. No is not no itself. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, there is no need to be concerned with any types of the mind. There is no need to regret, to give up the mind. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, instantly. The non-attachment doesn't mean anything. So don't regret the beingness of form and formlessness, body or mind. Non-attachment is not itself, child. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, nothing is within the disregard itself. This will turn into an automatic purification of the extinction and the emptiness. It will turn into the purification of the emptiness. No is not the no itself. Don't be obsessed to know with anything. That is the desire that is rejecting, the tithi that is of rejection. No is not even no itself. That which has nothing to do with yes or no, child. That which has nothing to do with disregard or not. That which has nothing to do with in the uninvolved itself. Don't be obsessed to yes or no towards anything, child. It is the samudaya of tithi, so don't be obsessed with that. Don't be obsessed to attempt to involve or uninvolved with anything, uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. That which is not about anything within involvement or uninvolvement. So don't be obsessed to be with samudaya of tithi. Always disregard or not. That which has nothing to do with disregard or not. That which has nothing to do with disregard or not. That which has nothing to do with yes or no, child. This will be purification of the emptiness altogether. This will be by Nibbana, purifying samsara onwards, purifying through the emptiness onwards.